shortly. It includes Benjamin, who is performing very, very well for Accra Hearts of Oak. Out of 18 games, he's kept 12 clean sheets. Interesting, very, very much interesting. So, landlord, let's just go through the squad list. And with the goalkeepers, we have Lawrence Atizigi, we have Jojo Wolacott, we have Benjamin Asare. Benjamin Asare is the one we just talked about. Lawrence Atizigi is playing for FC St. Gallen. Joseph Wolacott, that is playing for Crawley Town, and Benjamin Asare is playing for Hearts of Oak in Ghana. So the defenders, we have Gideon Mensah of Auxerre, and then we have Ebenezer Annan, we have Mohamed Salisu, Jerome Opoku, Alexander Jiku, Jonas Ajete, and we have Razak Simpson of Nations FC. We have Kingsley Schindler of Samsung Sport. We have Kamaradini Mamudu of Midiama SC, that Sporting Club. And with the midfielders, now are we short in midfield? Let's look at the names over here. We have Thomas Teipate of Arsenal FC in London. We have Elisha Owusu of AJ Auxerre as well. We have Abu Francis, that's Francis Abu of Cercle Brugge in Belgium. We have Kudus Mohamed of West Ham United. We have Ernest Nyama of Olympique Lyon. And then when it comes to the forward department, are we seeing some joy? We have Antoine Semenyo being on red hot form, arguably the player of the season for FC Bournemouth in England. We have Kamaldeen Sulemana also performing very well after his injury, his lengthy injury for Southampton. We have Jordan Ayew, always and ever present in this particular one. And then the substantive captain of the Black Stars. We have Jerry Efriye of CV Lugo, we'll talk about him a little bit, and we have Iñaki Williams and Christopher Bonsuba. Christopher Bonsuba is a very, very pacey left winger, 19 years of age at the moment, and he's playing very, very well for Genk in Belgium. Guys, this is the 23-man squad list. I don't know who wants to have a bite of the cherry first.
Well, Anana, I'll go first.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Let's greet our people watching us live on Facebook and also CLOG TV. We are grateful. Nana, finally, the squad is in. People were complaining, say, I check the but now, I'm sure, say, no more, finally, the squad is in. Nana, I'm not surprised, say, squad here, but that is what we have, and that is what the coach has brought to us. For me, seeing the squad, Nana, I could give you mine, starting 11 against Chad and Madagascar.
So we'll get into it. So let me just have your general overview.
It's a very, very intelligent squad, because I could see that coach now around. He's going to pitches to watch players, going to talk to some of the players. Thomas Partey, I saw how do you call it, Menyotu and those kind of squad. So we thank God that Thomas Partey is back. But people have seen hashtag that why didn't he call Andrew Didayu, and someone also said something, say they should channel the call to the technical team, not to talk about it on social media. As I said earlier on, it's a very nice squad, but I'm just hoping the only issue and the problem I have in this if every player on the 23-man squad is a starter in their team and is performing very well, but the issue is, and the problem and the question that we are asking is why is it that when they come to our national team they don't perform very well?
We'll get into that. We'll get into player morale. We'll get into the atmosphere that we are supposed to expect in and around the camp. We'll get into all of that. But Benito,
wow.
Let me.
Black Stars of Ghana.
Yes, the Black Stars of Ghana. Again, the list.
We have 23-man squad,
right? 23. This time around, not 26 or 27 for others to be dropped. Yeah, so we have straight ahead 23-man squad.
As usual, very good. Probably be having better ones than what we have at the moment. But the point is, this is what we have on the table. This is the food that is served on the table. If you like it or not, it is the food that we are about to eat. At this point, it is up to us in the sense that, I mean, the journalist, being it print, radio or TV, that we do this simple campaign about how to support this squad, have a respectable scoreline against Chad and Madagascar, so that our qualification for the 2026 World Cup would be as easier as anything that we can think of. So me going into the squad, like, let's say, and picking up players by players and scrutinizing it, at this point, it is not what needs or what matters.
We should just rally behind
Exactly,
the
that's my
squad.
point. And I'm happy that the inclusion of the local boys, that is the 3 players from our local scene, in Benjamin Asari, in Kamaldeen Sulemana, and of course Razak Simpson. It is, with the exception of Benjamin Asari, that is having the taste of the Black Stars. Kamaldeen, he has won exactly from Medium. I know him well from Ashanti Gold. He rose from Asgold Academy and then now to Mediema. One of the fantastic right backs we have in our league. So as Razak Simpson, we've seen his exploit during the last missed out of the AFCON. And so it is only Benjamin Asari that is now having the taste of the Black Stars. And where Benjamin Asari is coming from, he plays for Heart of Folk, agreed. But at this crucial point, at this juncture, his position is one of the most enviable positions in the Black Stars. Because since time immemorial, in about 6-7 years now, we've been having problems with respect to goalkeeping. And so if you are Benjamin Asari, as you really spelled his statistics out, that he is doing marvelously well, we understand. But as to how he can mount that big stage, becoming probably the first choice in these 2 games, it is the problem.
So I'm sure it's going to come into play when it comes to training. We have the training schedule on Monday. That's the 17th of March. They'll be training and will be open to the media. On Tuesday as well, they'll be training. Will be open to the media. On Wednesday, the first 30 minutes of their training will be open to the media for press questions and all that, and so on and so forth. But the reason why I'm talking about the training schedule is because we want to see Benjamin Asari and his performance in training, because that's going to sort of stamp his authority in the game. Otherwise, it would be as though 12 clean sheets in 18 games. That's no fluke. That should mean that he's very outstanding. But can you raise his level? Is his level or the level of the league that he's performing in also equal to even can it match up to Crawley Town, that's in the championship, where Jojo Wallacott is actually keeping, or can it match up with the Swiss Super League, where Lawrence Atizigi is also manning the post for St. Gallen? So more questions that we should be coming in our head. His stats look good, but when you match up and you assess the competition, we've all seen that, give a local goalkeeper a chance, give someone who has played the trade majority in Ghana a chance, and we give Richard Ofori a chance, and now not a lot of people want to see him in the Black Star shirt because he was so erratic. Now the same situation is coming. Benjamin Asari, he's not young, he's experienced.
Yes.
But should that warrant him a starting spot in the Black Stars squad?
Not really. I pick this thing from 2 sides. First, talking from his experience and how consistent he has been, that only thing qualifies him to be in the Black Star squad.
Yeah.
I'm choosing my words carefully. It qualifies him to be in this squad, of which Otuado has done that. But for him to probably be picked as the number 1 goalkeeper, it will take some time.
It will take some time.
Because NY, for a goalkeeper to get a first call up in the national team, that is Black Stars, and be the number 1 goalkeeper, no. I would be very happy for a local goalkeeper to
man
be
the post.
Yes, to rise to that level. But at this point in time, I'm sure now baby a person could do no.
So now, landlord,
Anna,
let's just we'll get into the teams and then the profiles of the players and all that. We'll get into the potential first 11. Let's look at the team's program outline. That's the Black Stars program outline. It should be on your screens. As we were mentioning, it's a Monday on 17th. They are 28th on 17th. That's March. They are going to be training at the Accra Sports Stadium, and that should be at 5 p.m. and then that will be open to the public. Everyone can. The players that they've been watching on TV, Antoine Semenyo and the likes. On Tuesday, March 18, they'll be training at Accra Sports Stadium, but the evening again is going to be open to the public. That is, training is open to the public at 5:30 p.m. So by 5:30 p.m. the gates of Accra Sports Stadium will be open, and then they'll be able, or you'll be able to go and watch there. I've been to the Accra Sports Stadium quite recently, and I can tell that a lot of work is being done on the pitch as well.
Yes. Not to cut you short, I was at Accra Sports Stadium in some few moments ago.
Oh, okay.
And
that is today.
Yes, before I entered the studio, and then I must just backtrace what massive works at the Accra Sports Stadium. As of around 5:30 p.m., the floodlights were on. I don't know.
No, I mean yesterday too as well. I just passed by.
Yes.
You know, our office is not really far from the Accra Sports Stadium, and the lights were fully on. So I'm sure massive works are still ongoing. So let's continue with their training schedule. And then Wednesday, they're also training at Accra Sports Stadium at 5 p.m. and it's not open to the public. So on Wednesday, if you're a friend of the media, you're part of the media, a freelance photographer, or anyone that wants to go and maybe get a taste of how training is, you would have to pick a date better than Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we have the pre-match press conference at 4:50 p.m. and then training at Accra Sports Stadium at 5 p.m. That means 4:50 p.m. pre-match press conference, 10 minutes window.
Yes.
And then on Friday is match day, match 21. And then we have Ghana versus Chad. Interesting. Previously, if we're going to play Chad, will it concerns about our form and about our performances like the way it's doing now? Landlord.
Well, Nana, let me start with the days that the players will be training. At first, anytime you are going to play AFCON qualifier or World Cup qualifier, the players complain that they don't get much time to train. But this time we have like 4 days to train before the match. And another important thing, and I say happy thing for us as a team because they'll be playing over the weekend. Some will be playing Saturdays and Sundays. Roughly by Monday, as the time schedule, they will all be here. So we'll have a a first training, and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. So I think it's very good for the team and it's very good for the nation, as we've seen on our screen, open to public. And then this open to public, now I think it's a very interesting thing because most of the times people don't get money to go and pay for the day of the match. This is the opportunity for them to go and see our players because by fresh in blood and it is good for them to go and see the players because I remember I went with you, we saw some of the players and the way they were, we could see the ones still on ice so I think it's a very good thing for at first it wasn't like that. At first it wasn't like that that when Blaster is training, I need a frigate for people to go and watch.
I mean, football is evolving, so I mean, we should also catch up.
So I think it's a very good initiative from there. But so we're just hoping for the best on Friday, inshallah.
We're just hoping for the best on Friday. Now let's turn our attentions to the Black Star squad list once again. One thing that we didn't talk about is the players that are not actually in the squad. So that is something that we have to really worry about. Now we have a list of players that are called injured players. They are called injured players. So we'll come to that particular list of injured players right after this short commercial break that we are going on. Don't go anywhere. This is CLOG Sports. And just before we went out on the commercial break, we were talking about the Black Stars and then the players that have been called up. Now we'll go and look at the players that didn't make the squad due to injury, who we are calling the injured players. That means if these players were available or they were fit, they would have been called up, if I can put it that way, or they would have been in contention for selection.
Not all of them.
They would have been in contention for selection. Now the players are Ali Seidu. Would he have been called up?
100%.
We have Tariq Lamptey, would have been called up.
100%.
We have Brandon Thomas Asante. I can't get a reaction.
Do you want us to be answering those questions?
Yes, please answer me.
Oh, okay.
100% or no? Yes or no? Let's make it simple. Yes or no? Brandon Thomas Asante.
I understand. Relax. I understand your point, but the only thing that will make me, I don't know of landlord, but that will make me finding it very difficult in answering those questions is that what happens if these players have not been called, yet they've been performing, but then it's in the news that because they got injured, that was why they were not called. Agreed. So what happens to the other players that qualifies to have been called where they are not injured?
So now we'll talk about such players right after this particular list. We'll talk about just a few of them.
I understand.
We'll talk about a few of them.
No one can convince me that without injury, all these players would have been called. No, why?
No. But we'll get to that particular one.
But with what you are talking about, the assertion is that
if they were fit,
exactly,
because so that is an issue, right? When a national team issues out a list of players,
yes,
and then says that these are injured players. So that is an issue that I want us to actually delve and deal with. Because if you've brought a list and you're these are injured players.
Exactly.
That means if they were fit, they would have been called up,
exactly,
or they would have been in contention for a call-up. That is why I'm asking that. Let me just mention these players, right? And then you say yes or no. If you are, I'm putting you in the shoes of Otoado. If Ali Seidu was fit, landlord said 100%.
For that one, 100%.
If Tariq Lamptey was fit,
100%.
Benito,
oh yes,
100%.
I would have called him.
Brandon Thomas Asante, no.
Yes.
So, but why is he in the category?
That is my point.
Player?
I do not understand this communique.
So now then we'll come Abdul Mumin.
No.
Abdul Mumin for Rayo Vallecano and how he's been performing.
No.
That is very interesting. And then we have Joseph Edu.
No.
We have Abdul Manaf Nuri.
No.
Abdul Manaf
Is it the
Nuri.
goalkeeper?
Yes, I said
goalkeeper.
No. I said no.
That saved the penalty.
No problem. But I said no.
No. For me, this one I will say yes.
You say yes.
I have no
so now
problem.
this is where the bone of contention is, that there are players that are not fit. Now let's go on and then we look at other players. We have Abdul Fattah Issa,
yes,
and then we have Baba Idrisu.
No.
Very interesting there. And then we have Ibrahim Sulemana.
Yeah.
Ibrahim Sulemana, when he was playing, we all saw him the last time we went to the Accra Sports to watch Ghana play.
But
arguably one of the best midfielders of the day.
No, for Ibrahim Sulemana.
Thank you very much. Now we have Daniel Kofi.
I would have called him.
Daniel Kofi.
For me, no, because it's been a long time he played.
But he's been injured.
It is because he is injured.
So let's give, like, if it was okay, who said injury? The time.
We are not talking about the extent of their injury. So the fact is that
if he's fit,
yes,
will he be called?
Okay,
that is my.
Yes.
Okay, now we have Majid Ashimiru.
Yes.
And then we have Joseph Penso.
Yes.
Interesting there. So now we have the list of injured players. Now let's go and then turn our attentions to some players, right? I'm sure you have a few names for me as well.
Oh, yes, yes.
That if they were, well, they are fit, but they are not in the injured list.
Yes.
They've actually played for the Black Stars before, or maybe they have not played for the Black Stars before.
They were not called.
Yet they were not called. Talk about a player like Baba Rahman.
Yes. For Baba Rahman's situation, it sounds more political. It is the player's own decision not to be called.
Yeah.
But he has not come out to say that. But the last time Baba Rahman issued a statement, it was to the fact that he was not fit to play.
Okay.
So he hasn't come out openly to issue a statement to say that.
Until he comes again that I am now fit to play, it remains the same.
No. But hold on. This is a guy that you see him play for his club week in, week out, doing very, very well in Greece.
Exactly.
So now, his team is arguably one of the top 3 teams in Greece.
Yeah.
And he's the first choice over there, doing very, very well. So these are players that you'd actually like to call on to come and help in your national team. He's highly experienced. He's been in the Black Stars jersey over and over, received criticism, accepted it, played well. One of our most attacking left in the country. Yet he's not been called. He's not been added into the injured list. No official communique on that particular matter.
That was why in my earlier submission I said for Baba Rahman's situation, it sounds more political. And then in respect to this political thing I'm talking about, until certain consultations have been done and made clear, he's not playing the Black Stars again. Baba Rahman, yes. And I say that on authority.
These are very, very interesting. So,
yes.
So now,
so as Andrea Ayew. Yes. So as Deda Ayew.
So I was about mentioning him next. Andre Ayew, albeit the fact that he's not been named the substantive captain of the Black Stars, his brother has. Now, when you look at his club, Le Havre in France, they are playing. They're doing not so well. But he in particular, he scored 6 goals, 5 of them being headers, and we know how up front in the national team, aerially, we are not a threat, especially when it's in the dying moments and then you want someone to struggle with defenders and then not one home for your team. We are lacking in that department. We've not called him. No official communique on that particular.
I knew all these things. That was why when during the preamble, I said that let's all forget about these circumstances and rally behind the squad. They are the only people, like the food that has been served. So let's forget about these situations and focus on how we will beat Chad and Madagascar. Because see, at the same time, it draws us back.
No, it's not drawing us back per se, but we need, as fans and as journalists of the beautiful game, we need clarity. We need closure on some of these things. Yes. We saw England make their call up, right? And then the press were allowed to ask the coach questions, right? Exactly. And then Thomas Tuchel, he was open. He asked, "Why have you included Rashford in that team?" Yeah. Again, he said, "Oh, he's in the best shape physically, and he's also doing very well for Aston Villa since he signed. That is why I included him." Yes. They asked him, "Why did you include Henderson?" He said, "Oh, for experience and the fact that there are young ones that have been called like Miles Lewis-Skelly, who would need to be under someone's tutelage and leadership in this team." These are clear reasons why he's been called. Prior to the times that they were not called, they didn't issue out a list
of injured players.
We have issued the list.
After seeing this 2026 World Cup qualifiers, so and so forth, injured players, I didn't understand up to now. I still don't get it. I still don't get it.
If it is not broken, why fix it?
That is my point.
Because all of these players would actually know that if you should follow them, then you should know that they are not in the best form physically. They are injured. So if you should bring this particular list, they are sort of causing some divisions on the players that are not mentioned in that list.
If you've been able to issue this statement on injured players, we wouldn't be having problems if you came with explanations as to why players like Deda Ayew, Yanfred, players like Baba Rahman, players like Prince Pabnedu or Victoria Plexen, no problem. But you remain silent on these situations, whereas giving us players that would probably have been called, but due to injury, they missed out. It doesn't speak well of the national team. And at this point, we need every hand on the desk because we cannot miss out on World Cup 2026. Reason being that
we've missed out on AFCON.
Exactly. So there is something to compensate the people of Ghanaians. It is the World Cup. That is exactly my point. But all in all, me for what I know and from various discussions, until Coach Otuado is out as the Black Stars head coach, Andrea Ayew wouldn't come close to the Black Stars. Yes.
These are very interesting submissions there. And now let's turn our attentions away from that negative or story, or that particular dark story about injured players and who is not injured and who is called and who is not called. Let's turn our attentions to the players that have been called for the first time. New call-up. Who are you expecting to see in the squad, landlord, that you've seen his name, maybe you've watched him a few times, and then you think, oh, this guy is going to be good? We have Benjamin Asari in there. We have also the player from Club Brugge. What's his name? If I could have the squad list once again. We have Benjamin Asari, and then we have Christopher Bonsu also in there as well.
Genk, yeah,
from Genk. And then we have one more player who is making his.
I think with the exception of these two players, they find a taste of the national team.
Okay, that's
with the
true.
exception of Asari and
That's
Christopher Bonsuba.
Yes,
that's
Christopher Bonsuba. Yes.
Nana, for me personally, I think these two players are the only new side.
Yeah.
But one thing that I want to say is, I've seen this 23 now. Let's be sincere. Coach Otado should be sincere and give us a perfect starting 11 inside.
So that's one thing that we are going to do after this.
So for me, for Lawrence Atisiki, Jojo Walacott, and Benjamin Asari.
No, let's talk about the players who have been called.
So Benjamin Asari is part of the.
Yes.
So Nana, I'm not trying to be biased here because I'm a House of Folk fan, or maybe I support these local players. But Nana, I've seen Benjamin Asari very well. Well, he has these pillars like Kunedu Yadom, Kevin Osesibi, Michael Ewa, and there's 2 and 3 people, Rafael Amponse and those kind of stuff. Although there are leakages in the House of Folk team, but he always.
It's like a glue, he holds them together.
So Nana, if you put Benjamin Asari in the post, then you play Mohamed Salisu, then you play Alexander Jiku, and you're bad. But Nana, Benito said something. Monen Koche, Nacha den Sheye. I'm going to retire football. So I think let's maintain Lawrence Atisigi or maybe Jojo Walacott in there, so that, and also like maybe in the CV we say I was part of the 23-man squad who played against Chad
and qualified Ghana to the World Cup. So, okay, so now let's go, Benito. These new players that have been called up, I have actually seen Christopher Bonsu play for Genk. I've watched him closely. Yeah. He's had a little bit of some ups and downs, because when you look at his journey as a player, he went to Spain right from Ghana, and then from Spain he went to Norway. Had a few challenges from Norway before he went to Belgium, where he's playing for Genk, and he's doing very, very well. Yeah, and when he was at Genk, he's played with our own very winger, Joseph Pencil, who is in the injured players list. He's played with him, and then he calls him his big brother, or his in that regard. He's learned a lot from him. He's left-footed, plays on the right wing. You don't give him a chance in the 18-yard box. He's got a very powerful left foot, very good dribbler, carries the ball well. What are your expectations on him in this Black Star squad?
At this point, I know he wouldn't get minutes in these 2 games. I know it's for a fact. But looking at his potentials and his skill set, he just need a little time with the Black Stars, because for every national team you should get a certain character
at age 19 to 20.
Yes, I understand. So we've seen Lamine Yamal and those guys playing at the highest level. Paul Kobasi, we've seen them. But in this area, or in this our society, when you go in near the national team, you should get a certain character. And then if it's your first time being called upon to the senior side, Charlie, you need to be relaxed. Then you seek for this character. So I know and I'm sure that after his first exposure at the national team, he would gradually be gearing up to that particular point. Until that time, let's wait for some time for him to grow well in the Black Stars. I'm not talking about his club performance, no, but in the Black Stars. Because the moment you don that Black Stars JC, it's a different conversation altogether.
The jersey is very, very heavy as you have it. And now we'll be zooming in to our own first 11. We'll just quick fire, and then we'll go quickly on that particular one. So I'll be asking you, who do you want to be in goal, who do you want to see in goal, and all that. So we reach who is going to maybe be comprised of the first 11. The other time we were very close. We got 8 players out of the total 11 that was being called. But let's see whether we will be able to hit Otuado again once again when he watches CLOG Sport. See the players, but also it's time for me to remind you that we are live on Facebook and on YouTube. When you go to Facebook, YouTube for CLOG TV, and you'll be able to watch us live. In case you need to leave your TV sets, you don't have to miss out on anything on CLOG Sports. That is it. So we are here. I'll be taking messages as well. You can text us on WhatsApp 0500500421, 0500500421. These are the numbers that you should call. You should text, I should say, on WhatsApp, via WhatsApp, so that we'll read your submissions for you. Let us know who your Black Stars first 11 will be. So you can text that number. The number again should be on your screen: 0500500421, 0500500421. That's the number to text via WhatsApp. Now let me go on Facebook before I come to you. Let me get some comments from social media. This one says that Afo Gabriel is watching with us. James Bernard, he says that watching live from Odumasikrobo Agumena in the Eastern region. Thank you, James Bernard. We also have HM is up and grateful. CLOG Sports Friday. Yes, HM Joe is CLOG Sports and it's Friday. Forget about Baba Rahman. That is, I'm the best left back. Oh, this is coming from James Bernard. Jadad. He's saying that we should forget about Baba Rahman. That's anyway. By the way, let me come to our WhatsApp platforms, and then we have a lot of messages. Let me just pick 2 of them. This one says that my name is Daniel from Amasaman. Black Stars and their Wahala. I hope this time around they don't give us heartbreak. This is what Daniel from Mama Sama is telling us. Let me pick up another message from, this is also coming from Ifwa. Oh, okay, Ifwa is watching us live from Adabraka. Let me carefully construct the words. I hope this time the Black Stars win, because my husband has to be happy for me to be happy also. Hey, a lot of people have different reasons why they want Black Stars to win. These are some of the messages that are coming in on social media. But now let me zoom in to you guys who are here with me in the studio. Let's talk about your Black Stars 11. So I'll give you just, we are doing this in just 3 minutes.
No problem.
First 11 in 3 minutes. So just 2 minutes. I'm being hinted by my producer.
I would have Lawrence Atizigi in my post.
Yeah, right back,
I'll go in for Kamaldeen Suleimana.
Kamaldeen Mamudu,
yes, from
Midiama. Okay.
Yes, and then my left back is as usual Gideon Mensah. With my central defenders is Razak Simpson and Alexander Djiku. But the only problem is that
Razak Simpson and Alexander Djiku, yes, they're not going to play Mohamed Salisu in this particular one.
No, but let me explain this in a brief.
Yes, please do.
Otuado that I know. He always preferred to have a left-footed player within the central space.
Yeah,
a left-footed player within the central space.
So because
that gives Mohamed Salisu the advantage. Yes.
So you are going to see Mohamed Salisu in there.
No, if I were to be the coach, I would have opted for Alexander Djiku and Razak Simpson, their partnership. But the Otuado I know, it is clear that he would. That gives us balance in the defense.
Exactly.
So I'm sure that's his reason.
I'm sure Otuado Sanobe.
Yeah.
But say media, I would have gone in for Razak Simpson and Alexander Djiku. That is for my 4 defenders. And then
you wouldn't feature Ebenezer Annan of Red Star Belgrade. That's right back.
No. I'll go in for Kamaldeen Mahmoud.
Ebenezer Annan is the 3rd player that is also earning his first call-up for the Black Stars. So there were 3, Benjamin Asari, Ebenezer Annan, and then
in fact, he was in the provisional squad that
but never made it to the final 2.
Exactly.
Yes.
So indirectly
he's been with the
team. Yes.
Okay.
So that was it.
Yeah.
But then with the midfield, it depends on the system. If you be going for 4-2-3-1, there would be differences in the squad. But then if it's like 4-4-2, there will also be differences in the squad. So let me go in with the 4-2-3-1.
Yes.
With the 2 pivotals.
Yeah.
I'll go in for Elisha also and Thomas Partey.
That's what he's going to use.
I don't know his tactics, but then if it's 4-2-3-1, if Champion Benito were to be the Black Stars coach, that would have been my 2P voters.
All right, so let's just zoom in to your final.
Now to my up 3. That is, I would have Mo Kudus on the right, then Enes Diama on the left, and I would have no, Mo Kudus would be in the middle. So Enes Diama and Kamaldeen would be the behind 3 people, and
Antoine Semenyo doesn't make.
No, Antoine Semenyo wouldn't make my squad, and then I'll play Jordan Ayew.
Okay, yes. That is it for you. Landlord, quickly, yours. In a minute. Yes.
Okay, so I'll go with Lawrence Atizigi.
Yes.
Right back, Razak Simpson.
Razak Simpson at right back.
Left back, Gideon Mensah. And the 4 and 5 will be Alexander Juku and Mohamed Salisu.
Good. Now let's go to the
well, I'll go in for 4-3-3.
4-3-3.
Yeah. So in the middle, I'll play Thomas Partey, and I'll play Mohamed Kudus. Then I'll play Antoine Semenyo.
Middle 3.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Then the front line, I'll play Enes Diama, Jordan Ayew, then the Fufu man, Iñaki
Williams.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Benito, Iñaki Williams was even a forgotten man in your squad.
Oh yes. Iñaki wouldn't start my game. No.
All right. So now we'll go for a short commercial break. When we come back, we have more for you. Don't go anywhere. This is Clock Sports. One Sports Show, we're just having extensive discussions about who or whom you'd want to see in the Black Stars lineup. My name is Nanaya Asari. As always, it's a pleasure to come to your homes on Mondays and Fridays to give you the best in the world of sports, Clock Sports. Now, let's turn our attentions away from Africa a little bit. Let's go to what happened in Europe over this past week. The final 8 in the Champions League were confirmed. We saw Real Madrid being in there in quite some controversial circumstances. And then we have the matchups, that is the final 8 in the Champions League. They should be on your screens right now. But I have Arsenal beating PSV by 9-3 on aggregate. Quite an astounding advantage that Arsenal had. And that ended them a spot in the quarterfinals against Real Madrid, who also beat Atletico Madrid 4-2 on penalty in some quite controversial penalty circumstances. We'll talk about that. Liverpool were also eliminated on penalties by Paris Saint-Germain. They performed very, very well in that particular match. Club Brugge didn't stand a chance against Aston Villa. Aston Villa actually humiliated them. And then end the sport against PSG, that is. And now on the other side of the draw, we see Barcelona beating Benfica by 4-1 on aggregate. And then we have Borussia Dortmund also narrowly beating Lille by 3-2 on aggregate. Now we turn our attentions to the bottom of the pairings in the right-hand side, and we have Bayern Munich beating Bayern Leverkusen 5-0 on aggregate. Quite an interesting one over there. And then didn't stand a chance against Inter Milan, who have the best record defensively in the Champions League at the moment. So that set us up for a quarter-final showdown of Arsenal, Real Madrid, Aston Villa, PSG, Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich, Inter Milan. Which of the fixtures are you looking forward to?
There's an interesting one coming into the 8th. We've able to separate the men from the boys. I still stand by everything that I've said on this show. This season, we are going to have an El Clasico final in the Champions League.
Thank you very much. Benito.
The game I'm looking out for in the quarterfinals. Obviously, it will be the biggest game. That is Barca Bayern Munich.
Barca Bayern Munich.
Yes.
In the quarterfinal.
Yes.
No, it's Barca.
Dortmund. Dortmund.
Yes.
Barca Dortmund. Yes. There will be a semi-final. Barca Bayern Munich is semi-final.
Barca Dortmund, and then we have Inter Milan.
Bayern Munich. Yes. And Barca.
Inter Milan have the best defensive record.
I think they considered about 3 goals.
They've considered 2 goals in open play.
Okay.
The other goal was a penalty. So anyway, now let's turn our attentions away from the parents and turn our to one thing that happened that earned Real Madrid the spot in the semi-final. That is that controversial penalty. Let us know your thoughts. 0500500421 is the number that you can WhatsApp us on. Was that penalty supposed to be cancelled? Now, Benito, we have the letter of the law.
Yes.
And we have the spirit of the law.
Exactly.
The spirit of the law goes to say that it is the intentions that the law are coming to correct. The law is coming to correct. Now we have the letter of the law, which says that you touch the ball twice in the penalty area, it's an infringement. But the reason why they did that particular law was so that players will not be able to dribble and go and score. Or maybe when the ball hits the crossbar, they'll hit it again. So you don't touch the ball twice directly by yourself to score. That is the letter. Do you think in this particular regard, in the shot over there, this was the best decision to be taken by the referee?
I'm sorry, in this contest, I'm not in the position to ask questions, but so which of them is the most important one? Is it the spirit or the letter?
The spirit of the law it should be the one that should take precedence, because it is the spirit that informs the letter.
Exactly. So if the spirit is what we using as a justification, it means that the referees got it right.
No, if the spirit is saying that the intention behind that rule was so that it's not when players slip and then their legs hit the ball twice. But
the spirit didn't talk about players slipping.
No, it didn't talk. No, the spirit is the intention behind that rule.
I understand.
So what is the intention behind the rule that we have over there? The intention behind the rule that is kicking the ball, not kicking the ball twice before you score, not dribbling, not trying to go and dribble the goalkeeper, not trying to maybe trick your way into the penalty being scored. That is the spirit.
Okay.
So if by the letter he touched the ball twice, but it doesn't meet the intentions, that is the spirit of the law, then was the referee right? If he had not taken this, would there have been complaints? Because we saw that in the final of the World Cup, Messi kicked the ball twice as well in the final of the World Cup. The video footages are out, but he didn't take it. It didn't cause any upset. Everybody said the World Cup was one of the best ever. So in this particular regard, minimal contact that's added no change in direction of the ball to the ball. That's what happened. Benito,
I'm happy that you used minimum. Minimum doesn't mean zero.
Yes.
Or minimal doesn't mean zero. Okay, so the moment you had a minimal touch of the ball before you intentionally kicked it. According to FIFA Law 14, it means you've double touched the ball.
Okay, so then now, landlord, let me have your thoughts on this particular one. Do you agree with Benito that it should have been called off?
I think I want to deviate from what we are talking about.
Don't go too far because
it was the VAR that caught this thing.
Yes. In fact, it was Mbappe who protested.
Good. So VAR will be say it means the VAR is doing very well. So the VAR should do justice to everything that they see on the pitch. Thank you.
A very interesting submission there. The VAR should do everything that they see to deem the match complete and wholesome to go on. And now we'll be turning attention away from football. We'll be having our regular guests, Righteous Man, Atakpola, if you remember them. They were the ones who came to give us.
I call them the draft masters.
The draft masters.
In fact.
Yes. So we'll go for a short commercial break.
That's fine.
When we come back, we'll have them in the studios with us.
Fantastic.
Don't go anywhere.
One.
The nation's ultimate and #1 sports show. My name is Nanaya Wasari, and yes, who am I with? I'm here with the Draft Masters, as Champion Benito rightly called them, with Landlord, with Benito, and then the Draft Masters. Yes, the Draft Masters are in the house. Last week, if you were here, or just a week before that, we had them go or come to the studios to come and tell us about their match up that they had against Mamprobi. That is the Kaneshi versus Mamprobi squad. But now they are here in the studio to tell us the results. What transpired? Were they victorious? Were they defeated? I'm here with Atakla and Righteous Man. Atakla.
Yeah.
Righteous Man.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So we are back in the studio. We want to just find out what happened when you guys had your matchup against Mamprobi.
Oh, I can say from the beginning, we found it very difficult, but and then we beat them 144, 145 by 40.
Wow.
100. So you beat them over 105 points difference.
Exactly.
The difference was 105 points.
That is it.
Exactly.
Atakla.
Yeah.
Righteous Man.
Yeah.
Is it because you've come to the studio that you're telling us this, or you have evidence to show us?
No.
Because we were there to cover it. We were there to even come and grant you some interviews after the game as well.
Yeah.
Atakla, Righteous Man.
Yeah.
What happened on the day? Tell us.
On that day, they came, they win the match and they came. But we were more trained, so we win them.
Hey, so how do you train for this particular tournament? Tell us. How do you prepare yourself for a tournament like this?
We used to play each other each and every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
So we practice more. Meanwhile, they were sleeping.
They were sleeping when you were practicing. Benito, but I don't know whether you have some questions for Righteous Man and Atakla.
And I think we were there on that day too. It was a very interesting game. The last time I told you guys here, say, if you're a young guy, you want to make it live, learn how to draft.
Hey, that is a very serious assessment.
Any mistake, even do basic. So,
of course.
Yeah. So as a young guy, you need to know your calculation and your loopholes.
Is it that you want to know mathematics, or you want to know, or you want to be successful in life?
Oh, no. As a young guy, you need to know your steps, where you go, where you will not go. So if there are loopholes, because this one, when there is loopholes, I know they will be difficult.
Definitely penetrating.
Righteous Man, God bless you.
Benito, I see that you are surprised because when before they played their match, they came to the studio and they were like, Mamprobi, they've not played them before, but they will show them something. Yeah. So at the beginning, as they were saying, it was quite dicey for them. But then their captain, Mr. Nia Ioku, who was also playing there, got them over 40 points in just the very few games played. But I want you to tell me how it all went down. It looks like you are being modest, and the Mamprobi people, when we call them to the studio, they said they can't come.
Because they were very disgraced.
They were disgraced because I think this is your. You've had some matches. The last time you played against Demod. Yes. Against Demod, what happened?
Demod
has beaten you.
No, we won them.
We won by 75,
30,
25.
Yeah.
But we are going to play them, I think, Hajj holiday. That's the ending of this month.
Okay.
So definitely we will beat them again.
All right, so there you have it. From Righteous Man and Atakla, definitely we will beat them again. That is what they're trying to tell us. But before we go, Landlord has something to tell us that's going to happen. So I think he's going to even invite the draft masters as well.
All right, so my birthday is coming up on the 2nd April. It's going to be my birthday, but each and every year we do play football match at Kotobabi Wembley Sports Complex. So this time around is a gala. It's a gala that I'm organizing with my big brother, Osama. So I just want people to come and support us. It's just, everything is free. Just come. It's a football match and a kinky party.
And then we'll do the draft as well.
So I'll be the help of Mr. Okum and Atakla and Righteous Man. We're having a draft. So as I said, it's a young guy this thing. So if you want to live well, if you want to live very well, come and learn how to play.
Well, I have a champion draftsman. He's called Okocha. I'm sure he'll be watching us now. Okocha will now come and face off with them right at the Kotobabi Wembley Sports Complex. And this is how we wrap up today. Sports on CLOG Sports. That is, my name is Nanaya Osari. Thank you for coming me into your homes. Thank you for turning your TV sets to CLOG Sports, your ultimate and #1 sports show in the nation. That's how we call it a quit on today's show. It's Arrivederci. I'll see you.